What if Luffy had awakened his Gear 5th abilities right from the very first episode of One Piece? How would this alter the course of his adventure? How would his crew evolve in response to this? And could this early awakening change the fate of his brother Ace? Let's find it out in this alternative timeline. In this reimagined narrative, the story begins in the East Blue, where a young Luffy, endowed with the awakening powers of Gear 5th, sets sail on his quest to become the Pirate King. His abilities stem from the 𝚲𝚙𝚘𝚎 no Mi model Nika, granting him not only a rubbery physique, but also the power to manipulate and transform his environment. In this timeline, Luffy just gets his awakening as a child. Maybe he fell from a tree or whatever, and then he all of a sudden gets these white clouds and the white hair. Shanks, upon seeing Luffy eating the Nika fruit, is astounded by the boy's white hair and the aura reminiscent of the legendary Joy Boy. Recognizing the significance, Shanks entrusts Luffy with his treasured straw hat, symbolizing his belief in Luffy as the bringer of a new era. Luffy's childhood unfolds similarly to the original timeline. He bonds with Ace and Sabo. They share sake together and share their dreams. Hopefully in this timeline, all of them survive and meet again. 3 years before Luffy sets out on his journey, Kuma, a member of the Revolutionary Army, witnesses Luffy's Gear 5th transformation during training. There's this one scene in Kuma's flashback where he visits Luffy. The sight of Luffy's white hair and extraordinary abilities convinces Kuma that the mythical figure Nika has returned. He understands the implications of Nika's return. As Luffy embarks on his journey at the age of 17, his Gear 5th abilities make quick work of adversaries like Buggy, Kuro and Don Krieg. Like in the original timeline, all the East Blue crew members survive and become part of Luffy's crew. His most significant battle in this saga is against Arlong, where Luffy's overwhelming power not only liberates Nami's village, but also sends shockwaves across the seas. Luffy's exploits do not get unnoticed. After his victory over Arlong, he receives his first bounty. The world government recognized the re-emergence of Joy Boy and Nika in Luffy. They perceive him as a significant threat, and they dispatch Cypherpole agents to eliminate him, marking the beginning of Luffy's direct conflict with the world government. On their journey, the Straw Hat crew meets Crocus and Laboon at Reverse Mountain. Crocus, intrigued by Luffy's resemblance to Joy Boy, inquires about his knowledge of the legendary figure. Luffy, unaware of this connection to this ancient legacy, remains oblivious. Suddenly, agents from CP9 including Jabra, Kumadori and Fukuroyu ambush the crew, aiming to eradicate the reincarnation of Joy Boy. A fierce battle ensues, showcasing the crew's growth and unity. Luffy, Zoro and Sanji confront the agents' Rokushiki techniques, holding their ground. And then Bartholomew Kuma appears. Instead of opposing Luffy, he uses his abilities to send the CP9 agents flying, aiding the Straw Hats. Kuma heard the talks of the world government about killing Luffy. Kuma warns Luffy that his distinctive white hair will bring him danger. He emphasizes the importance of being prepared for the challenges ahead. The crew's journey mirrors the original timeline then, facing foes like Mr. 3 and Warple. The battle against Crocodile remains challenging due to Luffy's lack of haki. In their rematch, Luffy's water techniques lead to Crocodile's downfall, securing Alabaster's liberation. The Straw Hats say farewell to Vivi, and Robin joins the crew. And then our crew goes to Skypiea. The inhabitants there revere Luffy as the sun god Nika, but Luffy doesn't want to be a god. But Luffy learns more about this legend of Nika and his potential role in reshaping the world. Facing the self-proclaimed god Eneru, Luffy's Gear 5th abilities grant him a significant advantage. His rubbery nature makes him immune to Eneru's lightning attacks. The battle, while intense, concludes with Luffy's victory, liberating Skypiea from tyranny. In the aftermath, two enigmatic figures, Shamrock and Gunko, emerge through mysterious black portals in the upper yard. Their mission? To eliminate the reincarnation of Nika. Luffy initially mistakes Shamrock for Shanks, but quickly realizes his error upon noticing distinct differences. For example, he's not missing an arm and he doesn't have scars on his eyes. Shamrock wields a formidable Cerberus sword, aiming to vanquish Luffy. The people from Skypiea, grateful for their liberation from Eneru, rally alongside Luffy. Together with Viper and the use of impact dials, they manage to repel Shamrock and Gunko, sending them plummeting from Skypiea, hopefully to never see them again. In this altered timeline, the Straw Hats bypass the events of Long Ring Longland, avoiding encounters with Foxy and Admiral Aokiji. Arriving in Water 7, the crew becomes entangled in a conflict with the other members of the CP9. They also got the mission to kill the reincarnation of Joy Boy. The showdown occurs within Iceberg's quarters and then later in the domains of Tom's workers. Demonstrating their enhanced abilities and teamwork, the Straw Hats defeat Lucci and his cohort without the needs to assault Ines Lobby. Robin and Frank Franky do not get kidnapped. Moved by their valor and integrity, Franky decides to assist the crew. He constructs their dream ship the 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚒𝚝, and this marks the beginning of his journey as a Straw Hat. On Thriller Bark, the crew encounters Brook, a living skeleton seeking to reunite with the Shadow. With their combined strength, they confront and easily defeat 𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑𝚑 Kuma to assist Maria. However, staying true to his allegiance, Kuma aids the Straw Hats instead. He reveals that the CP9 agents he had previously dispersed landed on 𝚲𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝 where Boa Hancock turned them into stone. So the world government doesn't know that Kuma helped them. Kuma asks Luffy for help. He wants him to protect his daughter by allowing her to join his crew. Luffy accepts the offer if he ever meets Bonnie. Our heroes gather at the 𝚲𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝 archipelago where they meet other notorious supernovas, including Bonnie. Zoro almost kills 𝚲𝚎𝚎𝚑𝚝, but Bonnie saves him. A few moments later, Luffy lands a mighty punch on Charlos for being a racist piece of This act of defiance against the 𝚲𝚎𝚑𝚝 gets Kizaru summoned. Soon after, Luffy meets Rayleigh, the former Pirate King's right-hand man. Rayleigh tells him that Luffy is the man Roger had always waited for. This is a powerful moment that underscores Luffy's destiny. Unlike the original timeline, the Straw Hats stay united. Kuma plays a big part once more by transporting Luffy, but also the whole crew to 𝚲𝚙𝚎𝚑𝚝, and this time also his daughter Bonnie. Here Sanji then discovers his true all blue, a moment of pure joy and wonder. He never wants to go anywhere else. Luffy charms Hancock again and learns about Ace's execution. Together with his crew, Luffy takes a marine ship hostage while Nami skillfully navigates it toward Impel Down. Chaos erupts in Impel Down and the crew frees a group of imprisoned pirates, including Jinbei, Crocodile, Ivankov, Bantam, Buggy and Galdino, and a ton of other characters as well. Although they fail to save Ace in Impel Down, hope is not lost. Determined to rescue Ace, the crew sets their sight on Marineford. This time it's not just Luffy and his Impel Down alliance, but his whole crew joins the war. Together with the Whitebeard pirates, they launch a climatic battle to save Ace. In the midst of the chaos, Kuzan and Robin share a reunion. The admirals try to take down Robin, but Marco and Jozo, members of the Whitebeard pirates, protect her. Our heroes succeed and save Ace. The world watches in shock as the livestream reveals that Joy Boy has returned and saved the son of Roger. This broadcast sparks global chaos. Just when it seems like it can't get worse, Shanks appears on Marineford. He calls for an end to the war, a plea for peace. And Sangok says just because it's Shanks, they will stop the war. Luffy and Shanks want to reunite, but they hold back. Their promise to each other must not be broken. Our heroes succeed in the war, Ace is saved and Whitebeard survives. In the end, two new members join the Straw Hats, Bonnie and Ace. Yes, you heard that right. Ace becomes a part of the crew, determined to help his brother become the Pirate King. After the events of Marineford, Rayleigh makes an unexpected return. He gathers the Straw Hat crew to prepare them for the new world. He suggests a time skip for them to become stronger and learn Haki. The time skip occurs and our heroes train for 2 long years. Under Rayleigh's guidance, Luffy, Zoro and Sanji learn the secrets of Haki. Luffy learns all the gear forms. In this timeline, Luffy never fought Kuzan and never lost to Rob Lucci, so he didn't have any reason to learn the gear forms. But now he learns gear 2nd, 3rd and 4th in order to have more versatility in the future fights. Rayleigh also trains Zoro in advanced sword fighting, while Sanji masters the art of the skywalk. Chopper finds new control over his monster point, adding to the crew's strength. Meanwhile, Frankie doesn't get a full body modification, but does manage to acquire some rare Varpol metal. With this, he builds the Frankie Shogun, a mighty ally for the crew. When the 2-year mark hits, Joy Boy returns to the stage of One Piece, determined to continue his hunt for the legendary One Piece treasure. The story flows into familiar territory with the Fishman Island arc. Hody Jones gets one-shotted and Jinbei joins the crew because in this timeline he isn't allied with Big Mom. Pankazat is skipped and the alliance with Law never forms, and yes, our heroes miss out on meeting Kinemon and Momonosuke as they set their course directly for Dressrosa. Arriving at Dressrosa, things change yet again. In this timeline there's no battle over the Mera Mera no Mi since Ace is alive and part of the crew. Luffy does not participate in the Corrida Coliseum, which means he never meets his Grand Fleet there. Instead, the focus shifts to the long-awaited reunion to the 3 brothers, Luffy, Ace and Sabo. Sabo's memories flood back when he sees Ace. The powerful bond between the brothers returns. United by fate and family, they set their sight on the Flamingo. The 3 fight together against the infamous pirate and defeat him before he can activate his deadly birdcage. They free the enslaved inhabitants from Dressrosa as well as the Tontata. King Riku becomes the king of Dressrosa again. He also allies himself with the Straw Hat crew. And finally, this is a timeline where all three brothers are alive and well. Our journey now takes us to Zou and Whole Cake Island, where things are not as expected. In Dressrosa, the crew stayed united. This means that the Minks of Zou face greater peril in their fight against Jack. Although most Minks suffer in battle, our heroes manage to rescue some of them. Their compassion and determination shine through even in the darkest moments. Here our heroes then learn about the road poneglyphs. Inuarashi and Nekomamushi know that Luffy will bring a new dawn. While on Zou, the Big Mom pirates make a surprise appearance. They extend an unexpected invitation to Sanji for a wedding with Pudding. Instead of splitting up, the entire crew heads to Whole Cake Island to be part of the wedding festivities. At the wedding, chaos breaks loose when an assassination attempt is made on Sanji. Instantly, war erupts. Luffy and Zoro fight off against Katakuri and Cracker. The fights are intense, but both of them can win. Nami, never one to be left behind, gets hold of Zoids, the mighty homie Cloud. With Zoids by her side, the crew makes a daring escape, but first they must secure Big Mom's copy of the road poneglyph. They raid the treasure room in the Great Chateau and make a copy of the road poneglyph. And then together with Zoids they fly to the Thousand Sunny and flee from Whole Cake Island. We now set sail for Wano Kuni, where the battle against Kaido takes place. The Wano arc in this timeline is similar to the original, yet with notable twists. Our hero face intense challenges with fewer allies from Kinemon's preparations, because Kinemon, Momo, Kanjuro and Raizo are not back on Wano. Luffy's power is then tested to its limits as he faces off against Kaido. Unfortunately, Luffy gets beaten again. 2 weeks pass and Luffy trains in Udon and beats Queen in this timeline together with Kid. In his training sessions in Udon, Luffy learns Advanced Armament Haki, and he learned Advanced Observation Haki in his fight with Katakuri. I just forgot to mention that. The raid on Onigashima begins, but this time help arrives in a big way. The Whitebeard pirates come to Luffy's aid as well as Yamato. In a surreal twist, Kaido and Luffy's paths cross again, recalling their earlier fight in Kuri. Even Whitebeard gets a clash here with Kaido, then something incredibly happens. Ace awakens as Mera Mera no Mi in battle. In a dramatic showdown, the metaphorical Sun God, aka Luffy, and the real Sun God, aka Ace, join forces. Together they combine their might to take down Kaido and restore balance to the world. At least to the world of Wano. At the second Fire Festival, Yamato joins the crew and our heroes obtain a copy of the third road poneglyph. Our final chapter takes us to Egghead, where the story almost mirrors the original timeline. Here Luffy's Gear 5th abilities shine once again. The Egghead arc sees our heroes facing the CP0, Kizaru and the Gorosei. Just like in the original timeline, our heroes succeed in fleeing from Egghead, but they fail in rescuing Old Man Vegapunk. But his livestream still gets shared around the world. And our heroes now travel to the original timeline in the Elbaf arc. But what would happen if Luffy would have a completely different upbringing in the story? What if the greatest enemy in the story tries to corrupt Luffy's childish nature? What if Luffy was raised by Emu in One Piece? Check it out in this video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Take care.